Jay here. I'm here to bring you a review on Dragon Ball Super episode 20, English dub. At the beginning of this episode, it goes to, I'm guessing, Frieza's, like, soldiers or whatever, their ship. It's not Frieza's ship, but it's their ship. And it goes to their ship, and it goes to resurrected Frieza. And he's standing, like, just getting out of, like, the tank that like helped him get resurrected, and he's standing there and he starts asking, the little dude in charge, like, who are you? And he starts saying, I'm Sorbet, I've been leading your army since you've been gone, like, this whole time. And Fuse's like, he starts laughing, like, yeah, you've been leading this army, so yeah, did you resurrect me because you were desperate? And Sorbet was like, no, that's not it. And then Frieza starts going on and on how he needs to get revenge on Goku, and then one of Frieza's like soldiers or Sorbet's like henchmen, like right hand man or whatever, he spoke of like first Sorbet spoke like, don't you want to focus on your army instead of focus on getting revenge? And he stopped it. So then this dude named Tagama or whatever, he spoke, like, he started continuing what Sorbet was saying, like, shouldn't you continue like leading your army, like making it like more stronger instead of getting revenge? And Frieza, like, he started like shooting beams at like every, like, his arm, both of his arms, his legs, everything, just shooting him with a beam, and he's just getting fucked up, like, oh, dropping to the ground and shit, all that. Then you see Tagama on the fucking ground, like, begging for, like, his life not to be, like, taken by Frieza. And Frieza's like, he should kill all of them, but he's not. He's gonna let Tagama squirm on the ground like the worm he is. And then Sorbet starts telling Frieza, like, Goku, like, he's been getting stronger, like, these past years. Like, he's fought Majin Buu and all that shit. And Frieza was like, my father always told me not to go against Beerus the Destroyer and Majin Buu. You're telling me that Goku has, like, beaten those two? Beaten those? And Sorbet was like, yeah. And then Frieza was like, wow, well, I'm not surprised from that freaking monkey. And he starts saying, like, if he's never trained a day in his life, so if he trained for 4 months on some one planet that he said, then he'll get, like, super strong, or like as strong as he said, super strong or whatever, but he said he'll get really strong in 4 months. So moving on after that, it goes to Beerus' planet, and it shows us Goku and Vegeta, like, sparring, and Whis is watching them, and he's like keeping an eye on their movement and all that. And while they're fighting, they're giving off like some key or their aura or their power or whatever, and Whis stops them, and he's like, you're doing something wrong. And they look at him, and he's like, you're leaking out power every time you clash. So then they stop, and then, like, they start, like, I don't know, focusing on their power, like absorbing it back or whatever. Then they start sparring again, and then they clash. But this time when they clash, like, it gives out like some Super Saiyan Blue aura. Like, I guess that was like a sign, or like they got to the point where they have the Super Saiyan Blue power or whatever. So then during that, Beerus walks up like he just woke up, and he walks up like, what are you and Vegeta doing here? Like, how'd you get here? And Goku was like, we took a ride on Whis, like, Whis took us here. And he was like, oh, I bet you, like, just something with calories got him to take you here. And he started like going on Whis, like, yeah, you've been there multiple times, and like taunting Whis, like, tell me, Whis, like, you've been there multiple times. and we created like a excuse, like he's been there testing food to see if bears will like it. Anyways, it goes to Earth, and a ship is going to Earth, and a ship lands like at Bulma's house, and a person steps out, and it's Jaco, the Galactic Patrolman. And Goten and Trunks are like, they're like looking at him like, who are you? And they're like checking him out, like jumping on him, all that shit. And he's trying to tell him that like he's not wearing a suit and all that shit. It's all funny and shit. Then Jaco, he starts introducing himself, saying that he's Jaco, the Galactic Patrolman, and saying that he needs to talk to Bulma and all that shit. So Goten and Trunks go get Bulma, and Bulma walks up like saying that Trunks said that Taco was looking for her or whatever, and Bulma starts asking Jaco like, why are you here? What's up? And Jaco starts saying like he needs to talk to the person who defeated Frieza, and she starts saying Trunks, he defeated Frieza, and Goku defeated Frieza. Trunks, and then Jaco's like freaked out, like a kid defeated Frieza, and Bulma's like, no, my son from the future, he came and defeated Frieza, and Jaco's like, oh, that's breaking the law, blah blah blah. And then he's like, anyways, I need to talk to the person, and the other person that defeated Frieza. And Bulma's like, nah, that's another thing. He's not here. He's on Beerus' planet. And Jaco's like, Beerus' planet? What do you mean? Beerus' the destroyer? And then Jaco's like, no, I don't got time for that. I need to tell you something. And Bulma's like, let it out. And he's like, Frieza has been resurrected and is coming to Earth with 1,000 men. So Bulma starts freaking out and just running in the house, grabbing some ice cream, trying to call Whis. Then she asks Jaco like, when is he coming? And Jaco's like, probably like an hour from now. And then she freaks out and says, oh, what? And now I don't have time to just warn everybody. And she runs off. There was some like comedy stuff where Goten and Trunks were playing in Jaco's ship and they got it like sunk and all that shit, but I didn't think that was important, so yeah, I'm just gonna add that. So yeah, moving on. It goes to Krillin, like at his like job as a cop, and he's at his desk, and like look like he's like resting from like coming from like on a patrol like or whatever, and he gets a phone call like from Bulma, and then like she starts telling him like Frieza's resurrected and all that shit. Then he starts getting ready, calls his wife 18 to come bring his like fighting suit. She starts telling him she wants to go, and he's like no. He asks her can she do one thing, and she shaves his head because he asks her to, so he goes full cue ball. Then he flies off, and fucking Android 18 says like, oh, he's so cool, so fucking funny. You see like Krillin fly off, then you see him with Master Roshi, then everybody starts meeting with him, Piccolo, Gohan, and Tien, and they start flying off to like where Frieza's gonna land, and then you see Frieza like arriving to Earth and like coming down to land, and like saying he's gonna like exact his revenge on the Saiyan monkeys and shit, blah blah blah, saying he's gonna get his revenge. Then the episode ended. So this episode was cool. I mean, the dope part of this episode was when Goku and Vegeta unlocked Super Saiyan Blue. Like, that was just like a sneak peek right there. Like, them clashing and just giving like a presentation of like their power that they like achieved, like with like training with fucking Whis. Like, fuck, it was dope to see. Anyways, I'm Jay, and this is my review on Dragon Ball Super Episode 20 English Dub. Thank you for watching.